No matter how hard you try, you will never break the strongest of minds. That's what I believe in. Though I can't really relate to this. Comstock's propaganda is powerful and almost beautiful in its own way, but it is far from perfect. And I have certainly not the toughest spirit ever. And yet, here I am, using the words Comstock and propaganda in the same sentence. If anyone here would find out what I've just said, what I've just done, I would be dead where I stand. To be fair, I never felt really interested by our prophet's beautiful words. Not since I am who I am. Not since I grew up, I mean. When I was a child, it was different. His words were gold. Hearing about glorious battle against the evil yellow-skinned rebels of the native or pretty much every color that isn't pale, I loved that. I love that because white is pure, white is perfection. In some countries it is said that when you haven't written anything on a page when it is still white, it is virgin. Following the book metaphor, it becomes obvious that you can only write on a white page. And that was enough for me. I was proud to understand what it meant. I felt smart thinking about that. I understood that niggers couldn't learn as much as a white man, that they were inferior to us, because their page wasn't white. All made sense to me. That's why they were cleaning the floor, working in factories and stuff, because that's what they were capable of, and nothing more, weren't they? Thinking about that now, it seems a little funny. Well, for me, not for them, but it's funny because that's something easy to believe when you don't know anything else. But when you do, and when you think reasonably for, I don't know, just a few minutes about it, all this little theory starts to crumble. In time, I began to express my doubts about it to my fellow soldiers, which was a big mistake. Of course, I was whipped. I wouldn't have guessed whip was still used in Colombia, but it was. The scars on my back are the proof of my barbaric punishment. They may be chosen by God, but the founders' soldiers are just soldiers, nothing more and nothing less. When there is insubordination and blasphemy in your barracks, you have to deal with it and make it an example. I was the example, tied up to a pole in the middle of a country yard with all my mates here to watch. But you know, there is something good about religious zealots. They will judge you in the blink of an eye, but if you are willing to atone your sins, they will forgive you just as quick. 2 weeks after my punishment, I said I wanted to atone, and many were more than glad to lead me on the righteous path. Then, 2 days and 2 nights, I prayed before the house of our prophet. I am a pretty good liar, I must say, but more than that, I am a really patient man. And after all this time, he did came, and I felt so proud. He was both frightening and comforting, and his presence, I've got to be honest here, it was really something. Without even talking, he knew how to make you fear and trust him at the same time. I didn't say a word when he came to me. I didn't like the man, I still don't like him, but I wasn't stupid enough to ruin more than 50 hours of wait for what? Being a smartass? He stopped, right before me, and he made me look up to him. His eyes were cold as iron, but I could see he was smiling under his beard. "I forgive you, my son," he said. This was one of the most intense moments in my life. Another one was a few minutes ago, when I stabbed my mate in the back before heading where I am now, waiting to meet Booker the Wit and the Lamb. I just hope I will survive this.